You must have heard about the 2025 new tax reform that's going to take effect January 1st, 2026. If you haven't, you're a bit late, but I got good news for you. I'm going to simplify and make you understand how the new tax reform affects and applies to you. Hi, my name is Israel. I'm a creative entrepreneur and also the lead photographer of DLR Photography. And my aim with this video is to simplify and explain it for photographers, for videographers, for content creators in this creative industry, and also for anyone that care to watch, because I'll be using an analogy that makes sense to us in the industry, and that might also make sense to you if you can use it or apply it to your own creative world or to your own world in general. Let's get into it. Quick backstory. The new tax reform design is meant to modernize and simplify the way taxes is run in Nigeria, with the aim of enhancing revenue generation and equality when it comes to paying taxes. For a very long time, Nigerians' main source of income or Nigeria's main source of wealth has been from the real estate, the oil and gas, most especially the oil and gas, and also trade. But with the wind of new entrepreneurs in their 40s, things have changed. Most entrepreneurs right now, mostly those in their 40s or under 40s, have been building a real and thriving business in this economy through digital platforms like e-commerce, fintech, the media and creative industry in general, and also online services like the online services we use, Global, Bolt, and the likes. While these businesses are evolving, many small and medium businesses remain largely untaxed or unevenly taxed. What it's saying right there is that most people are not paying tax. Most small businesses and medium businesses are not paying tax, and those that are paying are not as much as those that ought to pay. This has in a way contributed to Nigerians' low tax to GDP ratio of about 7.9%. which is, for a country as big as Nigeria, for a country as large as Nigeria, it is far below the average globally, and it doesn't commensurate with the numbers that we've been doing. So that's why our GDP has literally been low. At the end of the day, the government generates income mainly from two sources. It's either the borrow or taxation. And we know that borrowing affects the economy on the long run, but taxes, when properly structured, can sustain growth. Like it or not, taxes are the lifeblood of any economy. Now, let us be honest. For many people, all of these sounds like big grammars. The videos you've been watching have not really talked about how it affects you as a creative. And a lot of us ask fair and justifiable questions like, why do I have to pay tax? The government, what are they doing with our money? Blah, blah, blah. Do you get it? And we bring it back to, I think for myself, I complain also with the fact that we're paying taxes. The insecurity is still high. The roads are bad. The roads are not safe. Power supply has been unreliable for a very long time. So why should we pay tax? These questions are logical and they are justifiable. But I want you to think about taxes in this way. When you get a new camera and you insured it, the reason why you insured your camera is not because you have a lot of money to blow, or maybe you have a lot of money to blow anyways, but the main reason why you insured your camera is because you know that there might be future risk that you need to protect yourself against. That's the same way I want you to view taxes. So two truths can actually exist. The system might be failing you. There might not be transparency. They might not be spending the money the way you want them to spend the money. And at the same time, non-compliance can actually hurt you, because when you evade taxes, it is punishable under the law. That is to say that being ignorant is not an excuse. So if the government is not promising me a better road, a better security, reliable power supply, what then are they promising? The first thing is a simpler and more harmonized tax system. In this way, what they're saying is they are harmonizing the taxes you need to pay. Prior, people pay taxes in the local government and the state government level and also in the federal government level. So for instance, let's say you're traveling to another state and you want to buy a property there. What happens is that when you get to that state, they will force you to want to pay taxes of that state that you get. And whereas you're coming from another state where you've paid tax. So instead of having all these scattered taxes and then you have to pay these and then you're just frustrated, what the regime is trying to do is to harmonize the tax and make it as simpler as possible. Another reason is that they're making it more digital and more transparent in the sense that tax filing, tax payment will all go digital with the new self-declaration and e-invoicing aspect that has been introduced in this new tax regime. And the third one is widening the tax net so that to reduce the pressure from those people that are currently paying taxes. So because a small pool of people have been paying taxes, they've been heavily taxed, whereas there's a large pool that ought to also pay tax. So they're trying to make it equal among all of us, that you're not just paying taxes and then your neighbor isn't paying. You are paying and your neighbor is also paying. In that way, they are able to reduce the amount of taxes that each person have to pay. And the last one, which everyone is happy about, is the new tax reform tends to protect small businesses and low-income earners. In the next chapter, I'll be explaining who these tax actually affect.